My name is Antonia Brooks, 71 years old, sitting in a sterile doctor's waiting room, gripping my phone tightly. My only daughter, Angela, calls, her voice cold as winter. Mom, we're leaving for Europe tomorrow. I sold your beach house and car for the money. Bye. After 45 years of sacrifices, her betrayal cuts deeper than I ever imagined. I sit frozen, surrounded by strangers, my heart breaking in the silence. I close my eyes, and memories of Robert flood back, my husband, gone 6 months from a sudden heart attack. Every morning, he'd pour coffee with cream, serve toast, and kiss my forehead with a gentle, "Good morning, my love." Those moments were our life's heartbeat, a simple rhythm of love now shattered by Angela's greed. Her call echoes, a stark contrast to our warm past. Our beach house was more than a building. It was our sanctuary by the ocean, painted cream with a welcoming porch. Summers there were filled with Angela's laughter, sand castles, and family barbecues under the stars. We celebrated birthdays, Christmases, her first loves in that home. To Angela, it was just a paycheck, not the heart of our family's memories. Robert's old Ford pickup truck sat proudly under our oak tree, polished to a shine every Sunday. He treated it like a child, washing it with care, its chrome glinting in the sunlight. That truck held his scent, his essence, a piece of him I clung to after his death. Angela sold it without a thought, erasing another fragment of him from my life. 3 days before his death, Robert handed me a manila envelope, his eyes serious. "Open it when you're ready, Antonia." Grief buried it in my dresser, forgotten amidst the chaos of loss. But Angela's call jolted me, and at dusk I sat on our bed, hands trembling. I tore it open, tears falling as I uncovered his secret gift to me. Inside the envelope, deeds to 6 properties, bank statements, a letter in Robert's neat handwriting. He'd built a secret fortune, millions in investments, shares in companies, all in my name. "I hid it to protect you," he wrote, fearing Angela's love would turn to greed. I was rich, and the irony of her betrayal made me smile through my tears. Robert's letter said, "I wanted her to love us for who we are, not what we have." Angela thought she'd left me penniless, but I held a fortune she couldn't imagine. The weight of his foresight settled over me, a quiet strength. I knew then that I had the power to rewrite this story on my terms. The next day, Angela called, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "We deposited your 30% share. Fair, right?" She and Edward laughed, loading suitcases into a cab, their European adventure gleaming in their eyes. They never looked back to say goodbye, leaving me at the window, hurt but resolute. I was ready to reclaim what was mine. I called Mr. Peterson, our trusted lawyer, and we began working in secret to undo Angela's fraudulent sales. Neighbors whispered, pitying the poor widow I pretended to be, their sympathy a mask for curiosity. I played the part, nodding sadly while plotting silently. My plan was taking shape, a quiet storm gathering strength. Weeks passed with no word from Angela, her silence louder than her betrayal. I visited the reclaimed beach house, sitting on the curb, staring at its familiar cream walls. Memories flooded, Angela's childhood giggles, Robert's barbecue smoke, our family's joy. The ocean's rhythm steadied me, whispering that justice was cunning. Rumors swirled. Edward's business in Europe was a sham, his debts piling high. Angela returned alone, dragging a suitcase through the airport, her face pale with defeat. My eviction notice for her apartment, mine in truth, waited to greet her. The stage was set for her lesson to begin. Angela's desperate call came. "Mom, an eviction notice? Edward left me for another woman." Her voice cracked with panic, a stranger's compared to her earlier arrogance. I invited her home, knowing she'd face the consequences of her choices. My heart ached, but my plan required her to feel the weight of her actions. She arrived at my door, eyes red, clothes wrinkled, hugging me awkwardly in our modest kitchen. Unpacking in her childhood bedroom, she moved with shame, her luxury life reduced to a single bed. I watched, silent, letting her settle into the reality she'd created. This was only the beginning of her transformation. Another envelope from Robert surfaced among Angela's things, the smaller one, with a key and a note. It pointed to a safety deposit box, a new piece of his puzzle. Angela's eyes sparked with hope, but I saw it as another test. Robert's foresight was guiding us, even from beyond. At the bank, we opened the box, revealing jewels, rings, necklaces, emeralds, pearls, worth $200,000. Angela gasped, seeing a lifeline. I saw a chance to teach value beyond wealth. The vault's cold light reflected her desperation, but I stayed calm. This was part of the lesson she needed. Back home, Angela spread the jewels on our kitchen table, typing prices into a laptop, reducing heirlooms to numbers. Her face was tense, calculating how to pay Edward's debts. My heart ached, watching family history turned into transactions. She still hadn't grasped what truly mattered. Nights found Angela mopping office floors, working alongside women like Mrs. Johnson, who shared wisdom and kindness. Exhausted but determined, she began to find pride in honest work. The stark office lights illuminated her growth, a spark of dignity forming. I watched, knowing she was changing. Late at night, I called Mr. Peterson, a glass of wine in hand, documents spread across the table. Edward owed over $200,000, forged Angela's name, a crime I could erase. I planned her rescue, but not yet. She needed to learn more. Moonlight through the window lit my secret strategy. Angela cried over debt notices at our kitchen table, believing we were both ruined. I consoled her, hiding the fortune that could solve everything. Neighbors like Aurora visited, sensing my secret, their pity turning to intrigue. I maintained my facade, letting Angela's struggle shape her. Aurora sipped tea in my kitchen, probing. "You're not as poor as you seem, are you?" I stayed silent, watching Angela's humility grow through hardship. She was learning to value family, not money, just as I'd hoped. The cozy kitchen held our secrets, a quiet stage for change. At her cleaning job, Angela confided in Mrs. Johnson. I ruined my opportunities. The older woman's laughter and wisdom guided her to face her mistakes. In that sparse break room, under fluorescent lights, Angela found truth. Her regret was real, her growth undeniable. In Mr. Peterson's office, I revealed the truth. Robert's fortune, my hidden wealth, the plan to teach her. Angela's face shifted from shock to tears as she read the deeds and bank statements. The city skyline outside framed the weight of the moment. She was beginning to understand. "Why let me suffer?" Angela asked, tears streaming. "To teach you family over money," I replied, my voice steady. In that quiet office, her tears carried deep understanding, the lesson sinking into her soul. Our bond was shifting, built on truth now. Angela kept cleaning, not out of need but pride. The office floors she mopped reflected her newfound dignity, a woman reborn through effort. Her coworkers' camaraderie strengthened her resolve. She was no longer running from consequences, but embracing growth. She studied social work, books piled high in our living room, her face lit with purpose. Helping others became her calling, a way to redeem her past. Family photos on the walls tied her new path to our old love. Our home glowed with her transformation. We turned the beach house into a shelter for women escaping abuse, naming it Hope Haven. Angela led the effort, honoring Robert's legacy with every step. The ocean breeze carried renewal, the port alive with new stories. His dream lived on through her. Edward, arrested in France for marriage fraud, wrote begging forgiveness from a Stark prison cell. Angela felt nothing, no anger, no sadness. That chapter of her life was closed, his betrayal a distant memory. She was free, stronger than ever. On the beach house porch at sunset we hugged, the ocean's waves a soft lullaby. Our faces showed peace, a bond rebuilt on mutual respect and love. The sky burned orange and purple, a canvas for our new beginning. We had chosen each other. Under a starry sky, I sat alone on my porch, feeling Robert's presence in the twinkling lights. His plan, my strength, had saved Angela, not with money, but with lessons of love. The night was calm, his love eternal. I whispered, "Thank you, my love." True wealth isn't money, it's love earned through respect and effort. Did you like my story? Share your city in the comments below. Support with a super thanks to hear more tales like this. Subscribe, check out new stories on screen, and see you next time with love and respect.